all these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy higher
I
low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
across
enter
the
long
trend.
trade.
Hello, crypto friends. Going to be checking in on the big three and what we looked at the last video, and then I'm going to touch on some other things once I settle back down. Starting to think I'm a little sick in the head. Just traveled for 14 hours and got through the door at 1 a.m. I got to wake up in 5 hours, but first thing I want to do is whip out the mic and make a video. So looking at Bitcoin, we have a bullish reversal candlestick forming on the weekly time frame. We've been waiting for this one for a long time, and it's very early. It's way too early to say that that's what we have. It is, what is today? I don't even know. Wednesday. So we got another half a week to go. But if we close here or better, it is a bullish reversal candlestick, and that is the higher low that we are looking for on this weekly time frame. So support right now, 7,058. If from where we stand, if the bulls lose this momentum, which is the most significant bounce attempt that we've seen on this pullback, if they lose this momentum and we break 7,000, that is a big time red flag. And that is going to shift the perspective and the possibility of the break being bearish significantly in that direction. So bulls want 7,000 to hold for the rest of the year, essentially. And if that's not the case, again, pretty big red flag. So we've had some members pointing out a correlation where IOTA was giving a couple minute heads up on Bitcoin today. And we've had in the past, EOS showing some strength. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I haven't been able to go and look in depth on the 1 minute time frame, and I'm going to be doing that comparison tomorrow just to see, back testing it and see how it played out. But there were some people today in the chat room that were using IOTA as a little bit of a lead indicator on Bitcoin. So something to keep in mind. There are definitely, there's no rule that says Bitcoin has to break first. There are other clues that we can gather, and that's the benefit of having a team of people with, hundreds of eyes all scanning different things and pointing out different observations. So going to the daily time frame, we have the bullish reversal candlestick yesterday. This current candlestick has about 17 hours to go, so a long way, but the bulls really want to confirm this candlestick with a solid green day. So I would say we need to close, to be really confident, I would want to close above 7,500 tomorrow, and we need to see the bull MAC decross, and we need to see daily higher lows and higher highs. At this point, we're watching the 12-period exponential moving average, and if you've been watching these videos, these exponential moving averages are very important, really. And if you've been watching this downtrend, the hourly and 4-hour time frame have just been constantly rejecting them. So once we turn them into support on the shorter-term time frames, we keep zooming out, and now we're looking at it on the daily time frame. And once we turn it into support on the daily time frame, we're going to be looking at it on the weekly time frame. So we're constantly shifting, really looking at the same thing, but just on different time frames. So goal for tomorrow is continue with a bullish reversal confirmation candlestick, a green day. We're going to be watching the exponential resistance, which is currently at 7,671. That's going to continue dropping down. Look at the last two daily bounce attempts. Rejection, lower low, rejection, lower low. Can we reject and see a lower low? Absolutely. What do I think is going to happen? I think the bulls are going to be able to hold a higher low and at least trade sideways for a while. A lot of people are talking about the 6th of the month chart that's been going around. That's definitely valid and worth keeping an eye on. I personally would not make any decisions based off of that, but I would be aware of that scenario. And it's just the chart that they're talking about is the daily chart having major tops and major bottoms on the 6th of each month. So here was March 6th when we saw this pullback back here. And then back here we have February 6th. So February 6th, March 6th. Let's see where April 6th is. April 6th is down here. So April 6th, it's not marking the exact tops and bottoms, but it is marking shifts in momentum. Then we had May 6th, and June 6th is D-Day. So we'll see. We've got a few more trading days to go, 6 more trading days, and we'll see if we get a little higher low and a higher high. So we know we've been watching for the trend change on all these time frames. Higher low and higher high is necessary. We need that on the 4-hour time frame first. That hasn't even happened yet because Bitcoin is still all one solid move. You could make the argument this was a little higher low and higher high, but I want to see some clear consolidation, a new base of support built, and then continuation. And we clearly broke the lower high pattern by breaking some of these resistance levels. We're over exponential resistance. Look at this 4-hour exponential resistance. It has been resistance the entire dump from 10,000, or actually I should say from 8,600, our most recent daily lower high. So that's now support. We're looking for a bull cross of the 12 period over the 26 period. And ideal scenario for the bulls is holding this exponential moving average on the back test and keeping that level as support before we do get this continuation. So again, more clear daily and 4-hour higher low and higher high is what the bulls are looking for confidence. Where would I expect, if this is our weekly higher low, where would I expect our weekly lower high to be set? I would expect around 8,500 to 8,800 is a rough range I would be eyeballing for this pattern to continue to tighten. And in my opinion, it will continue to tighten. If this is our higher low, I would say the odds, in my opinion right now, of this being our higher low are 65% or so. If that is the case, I'm going to be looking for this pattern to form one more lower high and then looking for a break sometime end of June, early July. And we've been calling this in terms of time frame, looking for the pattern to tighten up and look for a break in June. All the way back in March and April, we could visually see that the pattern was tightening, and we were looking for June and July to be when action would pick back up again on this break. So things continue to tighten. Daily chart definitely needs more follow through, and right now the hourly chart, clear higher low pattern still intact and keeping the bulls in control. I'm looking at higher low, another higher low trying to form right now. If we lose the hourly higher low pattern, no big deal for the bulls, no huge red flag. That means we look for the 4-hour higher low to form. And then if the 4-hour higher low, it has to form. That's essentially where we stand. So that's where we stand. 7,558 is the current top. The next resistance level, we can just look at the 4-hour time frame. We have plenty of clear price action levels of resistance here. 7,628, 7,640, 7,662. So a lot of resistances in the 7,600s here. It was essentially a triple top at this level. Not exactly, but pretty close. So if we can get through the 7,600s, that's a good sign for the bulls as well. On to Ethereum. Weekly chart, bullish reversal doji trying to form, close here or better by the end of the day Sunday. We'll confirm that. Again, no red flags on volume. A little bit of an increase in bear volume on Ethereum, not very notable. And even though we broke the inside bar bearish and saw a big red candlestick, I would have expected more bear volume there, but it's not. And same thing with Bitcoin. Bear volume declining, low bear volume compared to the bull volume, no red flags. So here on Ethereum on the daily time frame, same story. We have a bounce. We're still setting lower highs very clearly. 616 is a key resistance to be watching on Ethereum. Exponential resistance is coming into play. Big bullish reversal candlestick, big bull volume. Need to confirm it tomorrow with a solid close. So the 4-hour time frame is due for consolidation. Very solid bull move here and a significant move to the upside, but we need to be looking for a higher low and higher high for continuation and confidence. So exponential support's holding, trying to see a bull cross, but even if they don't hold on this initial attempt, no red flags because we do need to see some healthy consolidation to establish that higher low. I personally, last video I did, I said that my 520 orders filled, and I had a bunch of orders down in the 490s, 480s. I personally would have preferred them to fill, obviously, before the bounce started, but they did not. But it's a scenario where I always want to have a position when the daily RSI is oversold because there's no telling when the bounce is going to take place. And at this point, my 520s have gotten me back from the loss that I took on my initial position when I was trying to trade when I was at that conference. So essentially, definitely because I was forcing some trades and swing trading and not being able to watch, which is new for me. I'm used to watching every single day. In this scenario, I'm pretty much break even where I missed a pretty solid profit opportunity if I had been a bit more patient. But again, learning opportunity and learning opportunities where I am only missing profit and not giving back money are the best kind. So watching the hourly time frame here as well, higher low pattern, very clear on Ethereum. If that is lost, again, no red flags. That just means it's time to be looking for our 4-hour higher low of consolidation. So support right now, and I just had something come up on my screen real quick. So our support levels on Ethereum are 566.50, 557.87, 547.90. But again, I wouldn't put a ton of weight into those moving averages. Look at them bounce perfectly off the 12-period exponential. It was resistance for a long time. Now it's acting as support. That's a good sign. And it's the 4-hour time frame needing that higher low and higher high for continuation. I'm not looking to take profit on my 520s. I'm going to hold them as more of a swing trading position, as I am looking for the potential of that being our weekly higher low, which means the daily chart could indeed see that higher low and higher high over the next couple of weeks and some more upside. So holy grail for the bulls on this bounce for Ethereum is to break 616. That would be significant. Weekly, visually, just where would we expect a lower high to form? Bulls could make it all the way to the 650, to 700 range on this lower high, just visually looking for, where we would stand on a tightening equilibrium pattern here. That's something I would be keeping an eye on, that range, probably around 700. So I'm not going to let my trade ride with the 700 target, but I am going to let it ride a little bit longer. Litecoin on the weekly time frame. This one was real close to breaking bearish, and the bulls saved it by less than $1. Very impressive. Bullish reversal candlestick trying to form. Same story as everybody else. Daily time frame needs to confirm the reversal candlestick. Exponential resistance still on watch. Last lower high, 125.25, stands out the clearest to me on the daily time frame. Just realized now I'm looking on the wrong screen, but it's late, so bear with me. In the 4-hour time frame, we need the higher low and higher high. Looks like the bulls are building a base of support here in the 118s, 118.51, 52, 118.41. So that's the support level. And really everything that I've just said on Bitcoin and Ethereum, the same is true for Litecoin. Exponential supports holding, trying to get the bull cross. Hourly higher lows, very clear. And if they are lost, it's no big red flag. We'll just be looking for that 4-hour higher low. And we need the higher low and then continuation, higher highs into this weekend to be confident that our bounce has started. ETH-BTC, watching the weekly chart, trying to form a bullish reversal candlestick. Not going to put a whole lot of weight into that at this point because the daily chart needs more follow through. It's still a lower high pattern. We just set another lower high, cooled off all RSI levels. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Can ETH-BTC form the higher low and higher high that we're looking for on all these other names? This is a reason that I was playing ETH, because the ETH-BTC chart was oversold and the shorts were so high. And look at the shorts doing their covering now. 4-hour time frame pulling back with 5 red candles in a row. This is not a short squeeze. If it were a short squeeze, we'd see a lot more bull volume and a lot faster action on the Ethereum daily chart, and we'd see these shorts drop a lot faster. But we could still pull back pretty consistently, or I should say pretty significantly, because there is a lack of support here. Not necessarily that the price here is going to be acting with supports and previous price levels, but it just tells me with the daily RSI still above 70 that we're still pretty extended to the upside. That being said, I will be looking for when the shorts, I should say, start piling back in on ETH, because that will be a bit of headwind, whereas the covering the last few candlesticks on the 4-hour time frame has been a little bit of a tailwind for the ETH bulls on this bounce. So that's where we stand as we head into tomorrow. Congrats to the bulls that did get in on the bounce. And if you're a swing trader, there's a very low risk trade. Well, not a very low risk trade, but a nice trade setup where, if you were making an entry at any point on this bounce, you just stick your stop loss below the low at this point, the lowest price that we hit. So say, Bitcoin was bouncing and was up at 7,400, and a $400 stop or is enough risk that is acceptable for you, then you just enter the trade and hope for the weekly higher low to be set and set your stop loss below the low here, because obviously if we break down to a lower low, again, it's a big red flag. And if it holds and we do see the weekly higher low, there's big time reward compared to that small risk. So that was a potential setup, and maybe it still is. If the 4-hour higher low of consolidation occurs, maybe you look to enter on that consolidation as a bull, but there will be bears looking to enter on this consolidation as well and trying to see just a daily lower high and continue downside. So that's where we stand as we head into tomorrow. Going to collect my bearings and get back to the normal routine over the coming days, and I'll see you tomorrow evening for another update. Have a great night. Continue to do good things. I got a Yellowstone video I'll update tomorrow as well. And see you then.